Hare Krishna everyone, welcome back to Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host Sulalita Devidasi and we are reading Teachings of Queen Kunti by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Continuing yesterday's chapter number 18. In this material world one must suffer from material miseries. But rascals do not care to understand this, for they are absorbed in ignorance. A smuggler may go on with his work, even though he knows that he will be arrested and punished. A thief may know that he will be arrested and punished for criminal acts, and he may even have been punished several times, but still, he will continue the same crime again. Punah punashcharvita charvananam. Why? Ignorance. He is so much absorbed in ignorance that he does not think. I am repeatedly stealing and being repeatedly arrested and sent to jail to be punished. Why am I doing this? The result is not good. A person who is too much sexually inclined may suffer many times from venereal diseases and have to undergo treatment, but still he will go to a prostitute again. This is avaidha stri sanga, illegitimate sex. But even legitimate sex involves so many difficulties. After sex, a woman becomes pregnant and has to suffer for 10 months. And at the time of delivery, there is also sometimes very great danger. And the father, after the child is born, must take care of the child and work hard to provide for its education. Therefore, the Vedic literature says, Bahudukha bhaja. Bahudukha bhaja. After sex, legitimate or illegitimate, there are so many troubles. Tripyantineha kripana. But one who is an ignorant rascal will not be satisfied. Instead, he will do the same thing again and again. Punah punashcharvita charvananam. This is called bhava roga, the disease of material existence. Yanmaitunadhi grihamedi sukham hitucham kandu yanena karayoriva dukha dukham. Bhagavatam 7.9.45. In the Vedic civilization, therefore, small boys are trained to remain brahmachari, celibate, and not involve themselves in the troubles of sex. But if one is unable to remain brahmachari, he is allowed to marry. After being trained in the beginning as a brahmachari, he will not stay many years in family life, but will very soon become vanaprastha, retired, and then accept sannyasa, the renounced order of life. In this material world, everyone is suffering. The birds, the beasts, the trees, the animals, the plants, and even Brahma and Indra. Indra is also not safe. He is always in anxiety about competitors who may come. So many stories in the Vedic literatures about how Indra is constantly trying to keep his post. Tatsadumanye suravaryastehinam sada samudvigyadhiyam asadgrahad. Why is everyone in this material world always in anxiety? Avidya kama karma bhih. Because they are rascals. Therefore, Krishna stresses, You rascal, give up all your nonsense and surrender unto me. This is Krishna's very good mercy. He is the Supreme Father. Therefore, he directly says, Sarva Guhya Tamam. This is the most confidential knowledge. Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. You rascal, give up everything and simply surrender unto me. Give up everything. Give up everything. Okay. Therefore, Kunti says, quote, you have come to teach rascals like this and engage them in hearing, remembering, and worship. Unquote. This is bhakti. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. One should hear and chant about Vishnu, Krishna. But as soon as devotees begin to hear and chant about Vishnu, some rascal Swami will come and say, no, hearing or chanting any name will do. Why Vishnu? Why not Kali? In Bengal, there is a group of people who have invented Kali Kirtana, chanting the name of the demigoddesses Kali. What is this nonsense? In the Vedic literature, there is no such thing as Kali Kirtana. Kirtana means Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, hearing and chanting about Vishnu, Krishna. The Vedic literature recommends Harer Nama, chanting of the holy name of Hari, Krishna, and no one else. This Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting, was described very nicely by Shukadeva Goswami in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 2.4.15. He said, Yad Kirtanam, Yad Smaranam, Yad Ikshanam, Yad Vandanam, Yad Shravanam, Yad Arhanam, Lokasya Sadyo Vidunoti Kalmasam, Tasmai Subhadra Shravase Namo Nama. Before speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami offered his obeisances to Krishna with this verse. He said, quote, I offer my obeisances unto him, for simply hearing of him is Subhadra, auspicious. Unquote. The entire Bhagavatam is glorification of Krishna, and this is glorification by Shukadeva Goswami. He says that one can be perfectly purified if one either glorifies Krishna, meditates upon him, or simply sits before the deity of Krishna and sees him thinking, how nicely Krishna is dressed, how nicely Radharani is dressed. If one has no ability to chant, or if one's mind is so disturbed that one cannot fix it upon Krishna, one is given this chance. Here is the deity. Simply see him. Haribol! This is actually very, very true. So true. We have been given all opportunities. If one is engaged in the service of the deity, there is a good chance of always seeing him 24 hours a day. While cleansing the floor of the temple, while dressing the deity, while bathing the deity, or while offering him food, one will always see him. This is the process of devotional service. But people are such fallen rascals that they do not even want to go and see the deity. Oh, they think, what is this deity worship? It is idol worship. Unquote. They may worship the statue of Gandhi or someone else, but when asked to come to see the worship of the deity, they will say, no, this is idol worship. I have seen that in Calcutta, in Chaurangi Square, there is a statue of Sir Ashutosha Mukherjee. Throughout the year, the crows pass stool on his face, and the stool becomes caked on. So, on one day a year, the ordinary sweepers cleanse the statue with their brush in the morning. And in the evening, some big men come and garland him with flowers. Then, after that evening, they go away, and again the next morning the crows come to pass stool on his face. So this kind of worship is accepted. Sweeping the face of Sir Ashutosha Mukherjee with the municipal brush. But if we install the deity of Krishna and worship him nicely, people will say that this is idol worship. So people are embarrassed by being entangled in avidya, ignorance, and the method by which to educate them and rescue them from the clutches of this ignorance is devotional service. As explained by Shukadeva Goswami, one may chant the name of Krishna, or meditate upon Krishna, or if one cannot meditate, one may simply sit down and see Krishna. Even a child can see, here is Krishna, here is Radharani. Even a small child or even an animal can do this and benefit. Or if one is more intelligent, one may offer prayers. And if one is expert and has been trained by a spiritual master, one may perform appropriate worship. Christians and Muslims are also Vaishnavas, devotees, because they offer prayers to the Lord. "O God," they say, "give us our daily bread." Those who offer this prayer may not know very much and may be at a lower stage, but this is a beginning, because they have approached God. Going to a church or mosque is also pious. Chaturvidha bhajante mam, chaturvidha bhajante mam, jana sukritin Arjuna. Therefore, those who begin in this way will one day become pure Vaishnavas. But the atheistic propaganda that one should not go to a church, temple, or mosque is very dangerous to human society. One may not be very advanced, but one should try at least to do something to understand God. A child is sent to school, and although he may simply learn ABCD, if he is interested, he may one day become a very good scholar. Very good scholar. Similarly, one day a pious man may become a pure devotee. Why should one give up religion altogether? Because become completely secular and simply open a factory in which to manufacture nuts and bolts and work very hard and drink and eat meat. What kind of civilization is this? It is because of this so-called civilization that people are suffering. It is by ignorance that people think that by opening factories they will be happy. Why should they open factories? There is no need. There is so much land, and one can produce one's own food grains and eat sumptuously without any factory. Milk is also available without a factory. The factory cannot produce milk or grains. The present scarcity of food in the world is largely due to such factories. When everyone is working in the city to produce nuts and bolts, who will produce food grains? Simple living and high thinking is the solution to economic problems. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement is engaging devotees in producing their own food and living self-sufficiently so that rascals may see how one can live very peacefully, eat the food grains one has grown oneself, drink milk, and chant Hare Krishna. I saw a meme the other day that they showed the global warming, and then they showed electric cars as if like solving the problem, and then public transport like a bigger solution to the problem, and then people working from home is like a gigantic solution to the problem. And I was thinking that actually Varnashrama system, simple living, high thinking, is actually solution to the whole problem. Economic, this climatic, all of these, Varnashrama is the solution. Simple living and high thinking, living self-sufficiently and peacefully and happily. Jai. The process of Krishna consciousness should be very vigorously propagated all over the world. Simply by seeing the deity or simply by joining in chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, people will derive tremendous benefit. If one performs kirtana, chanting, one will be able to think of Krishna. One may think, I danced for 2 hours and chanted Hare Krishna. What is the meaning of this? This is smarana, thinking of Krishna. One may even think, I foolishly chanted Krishna Krishna for 2 hours. But that is also smarana. Because the Krishna consciousness movement is spreading, people are purchasing our books about Krishna. Because they're curious, they say, what is this Krishna? Let us see the book. Then they immediately see a picture of Radha and Krishna. And if they open the book, they will see more. In the book, there are so many prayers glorifying Krishna. So some will hear about Krishna, others will read, and if they are fortunate enough, they will become Krishna conscious and engage in the worship of the deity. These methods of devotional service, hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna, and so on, are so perfect that as soon as one takes to them, either all of them, some of them, or even one of them, one becomes purified. Therefore, Shukadeva Goswami prays, quote, I offer my worship to the Supreme Personality of Godhead for simply by remembering Him, simply by glorifying Him, or simply by seeing Him. So many benefits follow. Unquote. Shukadeva Goswami is one of the 12 important spiritual authorities, and these are the authorities we must follow. Mahajanoyena gatah sapantah. He affirms that by performing these methods of devotional service, one will be cleansed of material contamination. When? Sadyah. Immediately, without waiting. This is the great benefit of the Krishna consciousness movement. Haribol! Jai. Jai, Jai, Jai. So, tomorrow we shall read the next chapter. We have completed this one. Tomorrow's chapter will be chapter 19, Crossing Beyond Illusion's Currents. So thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description. Please check out our website, shravanamdiaries.com. Read these books along with us, share them with your friends, and we shall see you next time. Hare Krishna.